Hey, it's Purple Mongoose coming at you. I am on my way on this fine Thursday over to West Hills Honda in Moon Township. They're having a Goldwing demo this evening, and I figured I would absolutely love to try that out. The previous versions weren't really for me. They were more cruiser than sport, but from what I hear, these new ones can handle pretty well. They've got a reverse gear, so that takes away a big question of pain in the ass. You need to back out of or into a parking space, for example. That question is gone. Just press the button and it'll reverse. So, hey, you never know. Might be down the road. I'm getting older. Nobody lives forever, and they seem to be good bikes. And regardless of what anyone might say, I happen to like the Boxer engines. Maybe that's just the WRX and Porsche fan in me. I don't know. But we're going to give it a shot over here and see what's going on. There was some question of whether it might be raining. When I left my house this morning, 5 o'clock tonight, they were calling for about a 75% chance of rain. Not really looking that way right now. It is not. Okay, Purple Mongoose coming at you again. Figure out how to start this thing. Reaching for that puppy again. Wow, this feels incredibly light. It's a nice reach to the ground. This certainly does not feel like it's over 100 pounds heavier than my bike. Now let's go to sport mode just for the hell of it, because that's how I roll. Radio, navigation, trip computers galore. I'm seeing. Is that a self-canceling turn signal? I don't recall if that was something that I actually did or not. Got some heft to it. I kind of like the root beerish color here. Sparkles nicely in the sun. Pegs are a little bit forward. I'm not used to that. It's not my favorite riding position. I grew up on dirt bikes, and the pegs should, as far as my feet are concerned, be underneath your ass. Yeah, I did not turn off the turn signal that time. Auto canceling signals, which is a nice touch. Audio, navigation, all sorts of computers, all sorts of nice and soft. Big old 6-cylinder engine. Larger than a lot of cars these days. Or 1.3 1.5, 1.6s out there for the car world. This is a 1.8 liter engine. Not sure if I like the nav. It seems to not show where I'm going so much as where I am on the map. I prefer the whole auto up is forward thing instead of up is north, and it doesn't even seem to be that because I would assume headed north right now, or west right now. Good mirrors. Tour on the highway seemed really nice. Let's check out sport mode. Here's the ability to manually shift finger and thumb up and down shift. You've got reverse or walk forward here. Electronically adjustable windscreen height. This pretty much punches all the buttons. I thought the front suspension would feel odd, and it really does not. Not your typical two straight forks. This is wishbone suspension. On initial turn-in, it does feel a little bit like it's kicking out on me. Not too much, but a little bit. I know it's not, but it feels like the back end is stepping out just a hair. I could actually see myself on this one. I get too old for the super sport type stuff, well, super sport touring. I think I'd want the bars back about a half an inch maybe. I know that's not really an option. Parking brake. This is nice. That is nice. Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot harder to get used to.
You would think. Alright. I am back on my FJR. And about to head home. But I thought that I would share what I thought about the bike. First off, it's a heavy bike. But it certainly does not feel heavy. I know that is because of the lower center of gravity and the easier reach to the ground. That doesn't change the fact that I can move that sucker around and pick it up easily. The seat was great. The bars were great. They could stand to be moved back maybe half an inch in my case. I don't know if that's an option or not. The seat was incredibly comfortable. What I did not like about it was not having a clutch over here. But that's because I was on the DCT model. If I were to purchase one, I would go with the manual 6-speed instead of the 7-speed DCT. Both have reverse mode on them. They work a little bit differently. But other than that, I really, really liked that bike. It's comfortable, it's powerful, it seems to handle fairly well. And it was just a short loop, but it had a little bit of everything that you'd encounter. I had a little bit of traffic, some hills, there was a little bit of interstate, and a few twisty bits thrown in there. The controls seemed a little bit busy, shall we say? Be a good way of phrasing it. A lot of stuff packed into that left handlebar. Upshift, downshift, reverse, your infotainment menus, up and down for the windshield, everything was over there. It seemed to be a little bit cluttered. But that may just be because I'm not used to it. It might be one of those things like this bike, you know, after a week you're not even thinking about where things are anymore. But yeah, that is definitely going to be on my list if I start thinking about replacing this. Acceleration on it just seemed completely effortless. And we weren't going fast, but didn't even realize I was changing speeds almost. But that's the way you're going to have things. Then that's the way you're going to have things. And I understand now why people hop on these bikes and just take off across the country. It's comfortable enough to do that. It's like sitting on the couch at home, assuming you have a nice comfy couch. My left hand was bored with no clutch, and I kept reaching for the shifter with my toe. It's not there. Did like the idea of having a parking brake. Again, adds a little bit of weight, but can't be that much percentage-wise on a bike like that. And it's nice to have the ability to park it and it's not going to roll away or off the kickstand or anything. I guess the answer to the question, would I ride a Goldwing, is yes. Yes, I would, in fact. The suspension, I think I mentioned before, is not suspension and steering, really, not like most motorcycles that have the steering head and the two forks. This is a wishbone suspension on the Goldwing, and it was kind of neat seeing the tops of the suspension bouncing around as I went over bumps and not feeling those bumps. Plush would be a good description on the suspension. But I think that was also part of the reason that the back end felt strange. Again, might just be a perception. I doubt that it was actually happening, but it felt like the back end was a little bit loose coming around on the bends. Again, that'd be something I think one would get used to fairly quickly. So, yeah. I enjoyed riding the Goldwing. And I will catch you guys later on. Hopefully I can get some more riding in the next couple of weeks. October's coming up. Evil Twin and I will have to do a Hell Wilbot ride. And I have something in mind for that. Stay tuned. This one may or may not be interesting. That's about it. You guys have a good ride and be safe. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, maybe the riding position itself is not great for, well, roads like this. But the bike will handle well. The Goldwing. It'll handle well. Even though you can't really hug the tank on a cruiser style, it was taking the turns fairly well. With a minimum of fuss. Anyway, I'm out again. See ya.